So, there are two things you need to have in place before sending any sort of postcard. Want to guess what those two things are? Any guesses? Well, stay tuned. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what these two things are that you need to have in place before you hit send on a postcard. My name is Janine Sasso. I'm the owner and founder of the Hyperlocal Agent, and I've made it my mission to help agents hit send on their postcards. You know, the postcards that you've designed in Canva, you want to get out the door, but for some reason, you're stuck. So how do you get these postcards out? And what are the two components you need to have in place before hitting send? So let's dive right in. One of the first things you need to have in place before you hit send is actually knowing your who. Who are you going to send these postcards to? That's right. You need to know exactly who are you looking to target. Not like, hey, I'm going to send a postcard today. That's great, but that's not going to do it, right? Are you sending a postcard to your past clients, your sphere, in order to stay in touch and stay in front of them? If so, right, you have a little bit of different messaging that what you would use if you were to send it to somebody you don't know. Your sphere, your past clients, you have a relationship with, they know you, right? They want to hear from you. So you have to really think about who are you sending postcards to. Let's assume, in which most cases, right, you're probably wanting to get into farming. Geographic farming has built my business to multiple six figures, and I know it can do the same for other agents if they just decided to really give farming a shot and understand the system behind it. So the who inside of that area would be obviously neighbors, right? People that live inside the geographic area you're looking to dominate, you're looking to become the go-to agent, the one that has all the signs on the ground, right? That person is different from the person that already knows you. That person doesn't know you. That person has not done business with you. That person has not attended, a brunch with you. You are a stranger. And as it relates to strangers, you obviously have different messaging. Okay, so strangers versus people we know, okay? When you look at who are you mailing for, you need to have that in place. First, you need to know the who. Everybody get the who, right? I'm sure you have a postcard and you're like, oh, that's easy. I've been meaning to send a postcard to your farm or your sphere. Pick and choose. All right, got that in place? All good? Perfect. So now that we have the who, which by the way, the who, right, we just talked about it, is important. Next thing is the how are we going to create the lead? That's the biggest question, right? And it all comes down to one thing. The right call to action. That's right. Do you want to know what the number one call to action is in real estate? And not just for 2024 or not just for 2023, but actually for decades? And I have a feeling it'll be the one moving forward for the next 2 decades. You want to guess? If you've guessed, hey, I want to know how much my house is worth, you guessed it correctly, because people want to know from us as real estate agents, Janine, what is my home worth? How much can I get, right? Because that allows them then to plan for the next stage in life. So if that is the number one question, why are we not simply answering that in a simple way by giving them an instant home evaluation tool? So with the push of a button, entering in their information, they can get an instant home evaluation. Sounds simple, right? But so many agents don't do it. The question is, why? And the answer is, sometimes we make it too complicated in our head. We can't have that. So let's make it simple. You need an instant home evaluation tool, and if you do not have one, and if you don't want to spend the money on one, use the one on your website. At the end of the day, your goal is to generate leads, right? So The call to action, find out what your 2024 home is valued at, or get your instant home evaluation in 60 seconds or less. Those are some really good call to actions. So then we have that. We can't just print this really long URL, right? So we have to pretty it up. We have to make sure that the URL that we're using is actually appealing to the person receiving our postcard. So how do we do that? We want to make sure that we really think about what would a seller click on. It is not JanineSasso.com. Yes, I own the domain. But no, I will not send sellers to JanineSasso.com because they don't know me and they don't know what's in it for them. So what's my ChicagoHomewares.com is a much, much better solution. All right, so now that you have those two components, put them on your mailer and hit send. And remember, if you're wondering how do we do it, we use geocentral.com because it's easy, it's smart mail, and it's a whole lot of fun. So hopefully you found this helpful, and as usual, I see you in the next video.